Continuing here, as strange as it might sound, as dry of a person as I appear to be, I like to joke around. I like to try to be witty and make people smile at least. But so I try to think of things that are funny. And one of the things I came up with a long time ago, because I like to do original stuff, I don't want to do anybody else's stuff, was like if somebody asks you a question and you need to stall for time, for example, what you do, you reach over and you don't touch their eye, but you say, hey, you got something in your eye right there, while you're thinking of your answer. And you say, oh, it's just your ball, your eyeball. I like those kind of jokes you really don't have to think about. I came up for one for one in your car, and whenever you're getting your car right, and you're getting ready to go somewhere, and you see this light come on, and it says door ajar, and it's like all this time, I thought the door was a door and the jar was a jar. When your door is loose, the light comes on. But I got to probably take some classes and kind of hone the skill, I guess, so that I don't fall on my face, because that can happen with comedy. You don't want to try to explain why the joke is funny, for one thing. But if anybody's watched Far Side, I came up with a couple for Far Side, and one is it's just going to depict the edge of a rake in the lawn, raking leaves, and a worm coming out of the ground, angry worm with a bubble saying, hey, I was still eating that. Kind of like a waiter taking your plate away prematurely. I was still eating that. And you could do the same thing with a pile of dog crap. You got to show a pooper scooper. Guys kind of scoop it up, and the angry fly is disturbed from his feast, and you're taking away the dog crap. So now that those are out there, maybe they'll get stolen and be put in Far Side. I don't care. Sometimes, you know what, I just want to share. I'm an innovator, and sometimes I really want the stuff that I come up with, so I tend to, share it, be loose-lipped about my ideas. And so it's not just, I like to get into funnies, but I like to innovate. I really like, and it's simple stuff. It's not Einstein level type stuff that I'm innovating, but I like improvements, and I like things to work better. You say, well, what's bugging me about this thing? And well, problem, and then you think of the solution, and next thing you know, it's out there. I got one idea that I thought was really hot, and a lot of my family liked it too. And I'm just tired of the fact that you want to contribute to humanity greatly, but it's conflated with profit, money. There's this money motivation always, and it's just a big fat fly in the ointment that bugs me, because I think we'd have far greater innovation if people weren't concerned about people stealing their ideas and companies buying patents because they threaten, they solve a problem that they're profiting off. For example, like, a car that runs on water. It's not profitable for the oil company, so they have great motivation, incentive to buy those kind of patents and set them on the shelf. So I have a real problem with that. But one thing that I think would be really nice and everybody in not only in America, all around the world would appreciate, is we all are familiar with the fact that freeway signs are lit up at night. Otherwise, you couldn't see them, right? I mean, your headlights don't focus on them. Well, why can't we have that in our neighborhoods, right? In all suburban neighborhood, all suburban street signs. We all know it's a sign's about yay big, right? And to have a solar-powered light, it's got to be strong enough to last 12 hours. But, with these LED lights using hardly any electricity, it doesn't seem unfeasible at all. And, cities, this would be something to invest in instead of giving themselves raises. They could invest in mounting these lights on all those the signs in the city. Okay, because look, I mean, you spend all this money to put up these street signs, and oh, it's valuable, we need street signs, duh, otherwise people aren't going to know where they are. They're looking for a certain street. It's just it's goes without explanation why we put up street signs, why they're valuable to us as communities. But what doesn't make sense to me is that we're going to do it and they're only going to be useful half the time, because your headlights don't focus on them, if you've noticed, any better than they focus on freeway signs. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, we should have them. And I already divulged this idea to local Batteries Plus. So if you see Batteries Plus come out with this, remember it's my idea, and they're probably going to get sued. So I'm just saying, because I had this discussion with family members long before this date in time. And so anyhow, which is October 5th, 2018. But anyhow, look, I mean, if I made a penny or two, say, well, I need to survive too. I mean, right, there's nothing wrong with making money if it's done ethically. But, it just, to me, the whole profit thing is a stumbling block. It's a turnoff. It stifles innovation. It stifles us as human beings. Okay, it stifles our ability to enjoy our stinking little lives, our short little lives that we're here. And I just want to be free. And I've learned that it's something I can't go alone. That your freedom is inextricably involved in my freedom. You understand? That's why I fight for universal freedom and absolute freedom. Because there can't be any ifs, ands, or buts. There can't be any hammers held over our head. Okay? And that's what money is. That's what it does. It's just, it's advantage one. The way people get money is just unjust all the time. There's ill-gotten gain. So these people have the advantage to be your master, to run your life. You decide things for you. I mean, it's failed. And so this is something we have to admit as a race, a species, that this is wrong that we do this thing. This is ungodly. Here we are, the creatures made at the top of the food chain, by far and away more intellectual intelligence, all the other creatures combined, by far and away, light years ahead, okay? And yet we are hung up on this thing, and it causes us to do heinous, horrible things to each other. It's horrible. It's a blight on our soul, and we've got to extricate ourselves. And yes, I'm a proponent of doing that gradually. But I'm just saying, the time is up, man. We've got to just do it, man. Just fix our problems and have the fear of God in our soul, man. Reverence. Understand, you're going to meet your Maker. You're going to answer. You're going to face God and explain your belief system, why you believe the way you do, and it's got to hold water. It can't just be based on fear. Well, if I didn't do it, somebody else would do it. Yeah, I know it was a little social Darwinian of me, and dog eat dog, and cutthroat, and rat race, and underhanded, and bandwagonish. But hey, you know what? I mean, I had to make a buck, God. You understand? I had to keep a roof over my head, take care of my family. And you understand how important our business practices are to our eternal salvation? Who are we? We've got to be somebody. We've got to be pure of heart. We've got to be clean. We've got to be willing that the captives be set free. And that's not some of the captives. That's all of the captives, folks. And, I could go into the rhyme and the reason of, why capitalism is supposed to profit and benefit everybody and lead to universal prosperity gradually. It does. It just does. It's because we find easier and easier methods to produce the stuff we need and want. It's all very simple. We, as a civilized society, I mean, why should it benefit a select few? The technology, to say, oh, well, we're the ones that are just going to just hold the benefits of technology and progress in this arena to ourselves. All the state-of-the-art equipment, why it takes 1/10 the time to build a house, for example, that it used to. So that's great wealth through cost of living reduction is what we should have seen, which means your currency would have automatically gone up in worth. So I talk about the Labor Department being deliberately remiss. While that's true, you understand, I still admit it's a two-way street. So if we had seen real progress just allowed to happen through true capitalism, supply and demand, free market and all that, involves competition and risk and all that, and not allowing any special interest groups to collude together to gang up and fix prices on people. That's not fair. That's not right. That hurts people. That's wrong. That's immoral. That's unethical. We can't allow that in the game. Do you understand? But we could have had wage reductions. Yes, that's right. And you say, well, now you're talking out of both sides. No, I'm not. It's not inconsistent. Okay, because still, even though, let's say, your income goes down, the remaining income you have is worth more each year, let's say. You understand? More than the reduction in your wages. So you're still becoming prosperous even though your wages are going down. You see, they've got us all believing one way, the way they want us to, and it's a lie. It's deceptive. It's delusional. It's confusing. It's convoluted on purpose. They don't want you to get it. Remember, knowledge is power. Education, truth, information. It's all power. Do you understand? And they don't want you empowered. Then you're going to come out of confusion. You're going to come out of the Babylon they built for you. And they think they're so damn smart, sitting in their ivory towers, just duping everybody, just stealing the wealth of the people of the nation ad infinitum forever. And for what? That's why it's so insane. It doesn't make sense. These are mad individuals. These are insane, crazy people. Even though they're evil genius, it's useless. It's diabolical. It's devilish. They're on the highway to hell. These are people that know the things I'm conveying to the general public. They know exactly what I'm saying is true. They know there's many ways not only to skin a cat, but to have prevented the cat from needing skinning in the first place. They know that. They know all that, and they still decide to be evil. They to not honor God, not honor their conscience, not value the right things, and just want to go to hell. So, I don't want their blood on my hands or head, and they're influencing us. They're influencing everybody, like I explained about the rudder. Albeit they're the rudder, you've got gears and you've got shafts in between the rudder and the helm. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's a big deal that we simply get it, folks. Okay, it's a big deal, and we should revisit 2008. And Trump, if you're really as courageous as I hope you are, then you've got to address this idea of supplanting the Federal Reserve Bank. Call it something new. It's an agency that we're getting rid of, that it's archaic. We don't need you anymore. We got Kinkos. So what's a payoff? Give us a payoff figure. Just like when people get an attorney to settle with the IRS, they owe these, you hear these TV ads all the time, right? You owe hundreds of thousands and we'll get you to pay for 10,000. We settled this one. And, just so you give us our cut, we can do it, right? So let's find an attorney, United States versus the Federal Reserve, and get us a payoff figure, okay? And then that's it. We'll do it. We'll pay you off. And we'll have Kinko's print the money. Kinko's. They're a big, national franchise. Hey, I don't care who prints it. We could have mom and pop operations all over the country printing the same money, just so they're licensed by the FBI, right? We need oversight. We don't want anybody stealing from us like these banksters. We don't want a repeat of what's happened here, what's caused all the communistic and socialistic sympathy out there, all this fascism under our noses that's been happening. We don't want that to happen. We want real progress. We want real capitalism. We want what JFK wanted for America. Okay, that's what we want. That's universal prosperity. Remember, it's the only answer. If everybody's spoiled, nobody's spoiled. If everybody's prosperous, everybody's prosperous, okay? Look at it how you want, okay? But that should be our paradigm. Unless you say, no, we need a taskmaster, we need Big Brother, we need somebody out there telling us what to do, directing us, and to be exalted, and we need to be minions and peons out there in the world doing what they tell us to do to keep society running, functioning properly. Do we really need that at this point in history? No, we absolutely don't. But yet is all my rhetoric stopping it? No. But at least, sharing what I know to be true, and what I know to be true is empowering at least. And at least it's confronting the issue, it's addressing the problem, it's explaining what's bumming you out, what's bringing you down, what's depressing you, what's making you sad, what's bugging you. I mean, it's just what's frustrating you, what's angering you, what's sticking in your craw, what's pissing you off, what's antagonizing you. Okay, what's making you feel fearful, stressed out, insecure, all those bad feelings? I'm explaining to you what it is, where it's emanating from, that little rudder, and then all the minions that attach it going up to the helm. And those minions still have their hand on the helm. Trump's trying to turn it around. Is he going to be able to? I don't know. But I know this much, it's going to involve God's help. That if we are to succeed as a race, to really extricate ourselves from these people, to really get it, to be empowered, and to not just be empowered, but to do something with it, explain to everybody else, empower other people, share that knowledge, and say, look, no, I know the difference between capitalism and crony capitalism, and here it is spelled out. One produces this and one produces